Greetings, everybody's. I have returned with another SH Figuarts Kinnikuman character figure review or thingamajig of the character Ramenman. Now, unlike Kinnikuman Great back there, I had a more or less proper explanation as to why he looked the way he does, which is, he kind of looks like the racial stereotype of blackface. Now, it wasn't intentional, it was a complete accident that he ended up looking like this. And I more or less kind of gave an explanation as to why that is. However, with Ramenman, even just saying his name, Ramenman, I don't think I have a proper at all explanation to his appearance, because that's pretty racist. I don't know what else to say. I mean, if you knew the actual character himself is badass. I don't know. It's a sensitive topic. And I have no explanation as to why he looks like that. I think he looks fine. It doesn't bother me at all. Now, I kind of wish, personally, he actually, this little strappy, let's get a close up. I kind of wish this was actually a separate piece, kind of like Buffalo Man's shoulder piece over there. That's actually a piece, Ramenman here came with this piece, because if you didn't know, during the Dream Tag Tournament arc, him and Buffalo Man teamed up and became the 20 million powers. I believe that was the term of them. But he wasn't actually Ramenman. He was actually a Mongolman, which I'll get into a little bit later. But anyways, I kind of wish this was a separate piece, because I don't know, I kind of want to see my Ramenman in his, in his physique. Speaking of which, I can appreciate the fact that pretty much every part of his maybe the pecs are the same, but every other part of his musculature is actually different compared to the other figures, because most of the other Kinnikuman figures have a slightly the same body type as the original Kinnikuman first release figure. However, with some minor exceptions, however, this Ramenman figure pretty much has an entirely new set of musculature, which I can commend him on doing. Especially his around his abdomen right here is very looks like he has no body fat. Like his body fat percentage is very low. Look at that. You can see his abs, his obliques on point. Good on you, Ramenman. This little piece here is actually connected to its own joint. I don't actually want to pull it out, but it doesn't really. Oh well, never mind. I guess it can. Yeah. There. Well, I did not intend for that to happen, but there you can see the little joint where his little shoulder piece. So, fortunately, even if I wanted to, I couldn't take this off, because then it has this weird, gross-looking joint. Let's see if I can put it back. There you go. Let's get a good look at Ramenman's face here. That little symbol on his face is actually the first character in Chu, I believe, which is short for Chu Goku, which is Japanese for China, literally China. And I think that's pretty cool, kind of how Kinnikuman here, he has his own symbol, which represents meat. And Ramenman here has his own, representing Chu Goku. His mustache, which is, I believe it's called a Fu Manchu. And again, most Chinese didn't actually have this kind of mustache style. This is just, kind of racist. But anyways, it doesn't actually go all the way, it's kind of weirdly done, because it is a very thin mustache. And see how it kind of looks weird, like it's part of the actual face right there? Something that they don't tell you, that if you're going to move his head, it's best to be wary when you're moving his, see that? Kind of how the mustache moves along with it. You kind of want to be careful. You don't want the mustache to bend. So that does kind of suck a little bit. His ponytail here, and I forgot the name of the actual hairstyle. It starts with a Q. Koyo? Something like that. I don't speak Chinese, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But it starts with a Q. I don't remember the exact wording, but that's his hairstyle. And it is on a separate ball joint. And something that does kind of suck here is that he comes with 3 other separate heads, and each of them don't have its own little ponytail thing. You have to pop this off every time if you want to switch, and I think that kind of sucks. As far as articulation goes, everything is the same as any of the other SH Figuarts Kinnikuman figures. If you've seen me talk about it, then it's pretty much the same. Also, however, I will say I like the fact that it's his ball joints at his thighs, and his little hinge here is actually especially his knees, they feel very satisfying to bend, like they're not loose. It's just very satisfying. I like that. All in all, he is very perfectly portrayed. paint applications. Well, I mean, he doesn't really have any paint applications aside from his shoulder piece here. Solid figure. Let's see what he comes with. Now, I already mentioned he came with a separate arm guard for shoulder. I don't know what these are called. Shoulder pad. This entire thing is a separate piece. It doesn't actually come with Buffalo Man. This is what Ramenman came with. So you can recreate their Dream Tag Tournament 20 million powers. So I think that's pretty cool that it came with it. However, it is a pain to actually strap on. This piece is actually not connected because I can't for the life of me get this to be pegged inwards. I don't know how they expect you to do this. I managed to get this one in by finagling it around, but I cannot for the life of me get this piece in there, so I just kind of have it hanging. Give it the illusion that, I mean, it works. See that? It gives the illusion that he's having it on. It does limit his articulation on his shoulder quite a bit, but it's pretty much just for show. So I think that's pretty cool that it came with it. Stand right there. For separate heads, he came with his a worried face. You can see he has sweat marks and he is in agony. A screaming face, somewhat different than his yelling face. This is more serious face. And again, he does not come with a ponytail for each. I mean, it probably would have cost a little bit more, but I would have preferred it. I don't know what preferred it. And finally, his secondary, or his alternate persona, that of Mongolman. So, I mean, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, but pretty much what this during the, I believe, okay, so during the 20th Chojin Olympics, he ended up losing to Kinnikuman, and that's when he saw the errors of his ways, and he changed from a brutal Chojin to a good Chojin, or an idle Chojin. And during the 21st Chojin Olympics, that's the second one, you know, the year after his fight, he ended up fighting up against Warsman, and he ended up losing. But not only did he end up losing, he got stabbed in his head right here, on his forehead, right here at the side, by Warsman's bear claw attack, and he ended up becoming a vegetable. Not literally a vegetable, but you know, he became into a vegetative state. Is that the word? You know, when you get like you go in a coma or something like that. That's pretty much what happened to Ramenman. And during at some point afterwards, he met with a doctor. I forgot his name, Dr. Bomb or something like that. He said, "I'll take you to a place where you're with." I don't know. I don't know how you would explain it, because there's a lot of ridiculous stuff going on in the Kinnikuman series where like people would die and come back to life. So in this case, he took him to a magical forest. Dr. Bomb took Ramenman here to a magical forest where he somehow magically, although I guess, I don't know, magic. It's a magic forest. It gave him the ability to walk and talk and move around. He was no longer a vegetative state. So Dr. Bomb agreed. Said, "Okay, I'm going to take a piece of this tree and make a mask out of it. This mask right here, and it'll allow you the ability to move around again." So Ramenman donned this mask and a new persona, that of Mongolman, and he actually put on some fake muscles to make him look slightly different, even though just by looking at the oval head, that is clearly Ramenman underneath. So that's what this mask represents. But then after the Dream Tag Tournament arc, this mask kind of became null and void, and then Ramenman came back and scrambled for the Throne arc, and instead of wearing the Mongol mask, he actually had this weird, it's kind of like an eye patch, but for his forehead, and that's what he used to fight alongside Kinnikuman and crew, the scramble for the throne. Anyways, that's a brief explanation to that. For separate hands, if I can put you guys back there, he came with these open palmed hands with the protruding thumb and a relaxed palmed hand. Nothing too crazy, and this is pretty much the standard for most SH Figuarts Kinnikuman figures, where they come with these types of hands. And I kind of wish they made an exception for Ramenman here, because he is a Chinese martial artist, and he does make use of a lot of, well, Chinese martial arts, and so he makes different hand positions, and that would have been pretty cool if they went the extra mile to include those, you know, type of hands for Chinese martial arts. But yeah, that's Ramenman. He is an amazing character. Sure, maybe if someone didn't know the character and they looked at this guy, they're probably gonna say, "Whoa, that guy looks pretty racist." But if you took the time to know the character Ramenman and the tribulations that he's been through during the Kinnikuman series. Speaking of which, I just started reading the new the volumes, so I know. Well, I mean, I still don't know who Nemesis is, but now I know the whole reasoning behind their rival. Anyways, that is all I want to say about Ramenman. He's a cool figure. I still can't believe that we're getting Kinnikuman figures. That's still crazy. I don't know if they're selling well or not. I did see previews that they're going to be releasing other figures exclusively in manga color form, so I'm very much excited for that. That's all I gotta say. Ramenman, let's show the nice people at home what kind of poses and your special techniques that you can do. I'll see you guys later.